Hey everyone, welcome back, and this is my review of Garo the Animation, episode 3, episode 4. Wow, this was a really dark episode, especially the ending, which is the dark themes directly connected to the ending are kind of hidden, but I will explain them in this review, of course, because I did pick up on them, okay? But yeah, and I knew this series was going to be dark straight from the get-go. I mean, that was kind of obvious, but right here it shows just how dark it can be. Now, first off, I just want to say, this episode felt like it went by so fucking fast, and I think the reason is because I think it was, if I had to pick out a complaint about this episode, then it'd be that it's just too fast-paced. I mean, it didn't feel like everything flowed at the proper pace to really be too believable. It wasn't a horrible pace, but I still wish it was paced a bit slower to really make the discoveries and everything like that in this episode a bit more believable. Okay, now despite the fact that they had to fight a horror in this episode, it actually wasn't an action-heavy episode. Granted, there was some action, of course, and the action that was here looked fucking amazing, but it actually wasn't an action-heavy episode. The main theme of this episode was Leon and Alois, that little kid, basically bonding in a way. Okay, because both of them lost their father in the past, and both of them wanted to get revenge. Now, will Leon give up his plans for revenge? Who knows? I mean, I think that's what kind of makes him an interesting character to me, so I'm kind of hoping that he doesn't, but still. Because Alois's father was basically part of these ceremonies, these unorthodox ceremonies in this village, but he didn't agree with them, so he actually tried to turn them into the church, and the villagers basically beat him to death for it, caught him and beat him to death for it, and Alois actually had to witness that. So you can imagine how fucked up his mind actually is right now, and his mother actually apologizes to him in the end, towards the end of the episode, because she blames herself for not being able to be there for her son and whatnot, okay? So you can see where the dark themes are coming. He actually had a pet who was actually a horror, who he wanted to get revenge on the villagers for, with that horror. Okay, I don't know if he actually knew it was a horror or not, but surprisingly enough, it actually wasn't possessing him like I thought it would. So that's very interesting. Okay, but you actually see this scene in this episode where this kid is luring these like 3 kids out to this like in this forest where no one's ever supposed to go, and then he turns around. And I'm guessing the horror is what kills them, not him, because it never specifically stated, oh, you know, he's a murderer. But I'm guessing it was the horror that actually killed them. So it was it was a very ominous and dark scene. And of course, the ending scene there with him just breaking down and crying really gave me them feels. Okay, now the ending. This is the hidden dark themes in the ending. Okay, that old man who was leading the ceremonies was taken in to that like cabin place to have that shack place to have the ceremonies done on him, which proves that even though even despite the fact that all of the events that went down in this episode, the villagers are still holding on to their superstitions and doing the goddamn fucking ceremonies. That right there, surprisingly enough, is actually very dark. Okay. And it proves that even the main characters in a series should not be able to solve all the problems of everyone, okay? Because obviously the village is still kind of fucked up. And I highly doubt that they're ever going to change that, okay? So that's actually very good, I think. So overall, what I think of this episode in the end, I thought it was great. I thought this episode was probably my favorite episode in the series so far, okay? Oh, and Alois's mother was actually seen as a witch because her husband disappeared, and so are so many children, so she's seen as a witch basically, and the kids tormented because of that as well. And yeah, but overall I thought it was a great episode of Garo the Animation. I really loved it, especially the feels. It really gave me them feels. Especially the ending scene there with that kid basically just breaking down and crying and realizing that he will probably never be able to get his revenge. I'm guessing what was going through his mind is that, you know, he felt that his father's death would have been in vain if he didn't get revenge or something. which is probably what a lot of people who want revenge end up thinking. You know what I mean? But anyways, if you have yet to see this week's episode of Garo the Animation, I definitely recommend you that you do. I thought it was a great episode. I loved the dark twist. I loved how dark it was. Seriously. So yeah, so tell me your thoughts about this episode in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this review, guys. See you after, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.